Hello, good afternoon. I am Cece Rivera, and today I want to discuss whether you should put your husband before your kids or your kids before your husband. Now, ideally, you're supposed to put your spouse before your kids to have a better relationship when you're co-parenting. And co-parenting takes two parents that truly care about their children and their well-being and their happiness and sacrificing certain things to give their child the best. And in doing so, you'll have a happy family. A spouse that needs love and nurturing and attention as much as the child usually causes conflicts between the parenting skills. Therefore, the spouse needs to have that nurturing and loving feeling as well, but needs to understand that he's an adult and the child is the child. Therefore, both should be nurtured equally and should recognize that they're both equally loved. However, in some instances, you'll need to place your spouse first or your child first. However, both need to know that they are an important factor in your life. And if one feels that they are less significant, then in that time and that time frame only, they should be recognized as more important in that moment. And it can shift and change on a daily basis. No one is actually better at any different time. However, if you're teaching discipline and co-parenting, then the child needs to know that your relationship is concrete and healthy enough that you can co-parent together, and that the child needs to be structured in that discipline so that you're both on the same page when it comes to parenting skills. That way, the child respects you and your spouse at all times. However, if the spouse happens to need more attention in that instance, then you can use something to affirm that your spouse is recognized as being loved more in that certain situation, and explain to your child that you are grounded and that your relationship is important and that you need to nurture the relationship to have a healthy relationship and healthy communication skills to then nurture the child in doing the right things when you are co-parenting. In doing so, you'll have a healthier foundation in both relationships with the child and with the spouse. Now, in the case where you are showing love and care and affection to your husband, then it shows the child that your relationship is valid and important and that you come first in a sense. In another instance where the child needs nurturing, food, care, then the child needs to know that they come first, because your husband should know how to take care of himself as an adult. He should be able to feed himself and take care of himself, and the child has these growing expectations that need to be nurtured. So all in all, they are both very important people, and they both deserve to be loved and cared for in a very similar way. But the spouse has to also show the other spouse that they are significant so that they can then have the same significance returned to them. In other words, if the husband is mistreating his wife or is expecting certain things from his wife but is not providing the same thing in return, then the wife will most likely choose the child over the spouse. So it is very important and crucial that the spouse and the child knows their place and their identity in the relationship, and also that the spouse husband and the spouse wife, that they understand each other and that they also respect each other in the relationship, and understand that if they want to be treated a certain way, that they need to acknowledge each other in doing so. Because in order for a spouse to treat another spouse as significant, then they expect the same thing. So the children learn from the evidence that is going on all around them. So in order to have healthy children and healthy behaviors, then both parents need to model that behavior so that the co-parenting is satisfied, and the children can learn from watching how the parents co-parent and interact together to have a healthy expectation. And in doing so, they will create a better relationship altogether for the three of them to have a functioning lifestyle and functioning boundaries. And both parents will be satisfied and demand that children listen and learn their own independence and respect the parenting rules, and also teach the child to know that the parents deserve to love each other and nurture each other, and that they should come first in their own sense, but that the child comes first in other instances where they need caring, education, food, stability, nurturing, etc. And when this happens, no one feels neglected. Love and healing.